Hey, this is Maddy.
And I'm Talitha.
And this is
The Legally Blonde Podcast.
I am very very on edge about this episode. No.
Maddy, there's no need to be.
It's a lot of pressure.
There is a lot of pressure for this one.
We have been requested to do this episode a few times, and it is about preparing for your... It is
Preparing
about...
for your 20s.
Scratch that. That's not what it's for. It is about surviving your 20s, preparing for your 30s.
Now, this is a really big topic. And I feel like a lot of people put out articles about it, videos, TikToks. So there's differing opinions. And yeah, as Maddy said, we got requested to do this by one of our listeners. So here we are. We're giving back to you. I hope you're listening.
And we're going to give you our advice. I mean, we're in our early 20s, but we're going to give you our advice on what we're doing right now to kind of get through, I feel, to get through one of probably the most fun parts of your life.
I agree.
That's what I want to say. To me, this feels like a really fun, exciting, brand new part of my life. And then how to get yourself through it to prepare for the settling down.
Have a baby.
Have a baby.
If you want a baby.
If you don't want that, that's also okay.
Exactly.
But so it's kind of just, this is our little guide to how to do all those things and how to, get the most out of it, I would say.
Yeah, how to really survive. And we've sort of broken down this episode into categories. So we'll firstly go over personal, yourself. What are some things that you can do by yourself, for yourself, into surviving your 20s, entering your 30s. Next we have relationships. So friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever.
Family,
family
yourself
life.
As again, being single.
Correct. And then our last one is career and finance.
Your business side.
Yeah, your business, your hustles, how to save money, debt, credit cards, whatever.
Career, what you want to do, where you think you're going, that sort of stuff. But it wouldn't be, surviving your 20s if we didn't pay homage to our teenage selves. She's in there still. Talitha's is.
I am. I'm thinking about her. Poor her. Oh my gosh.
18-year-old in there. No, but honestly, I feel like that part of your life goes so quickly. And when you're a teenager, everyone's live in the moment and but all the time as your teenage self, you are thinking about for the future. You really don't stop and think about the right now. And I feel like everyone is in that mindset of you think it revolves all around you and that it's only about you and everything feels so big or everything feels so small and insignificant because you're so focused on yourself. And so anyone that's, in that teenage phase that's prepping to go into their 20s, all I want to say is look at the bigger picture. As much as right now feels like the end of the world or it feels like that so much is happening and it's all this pressure, think about everything else. Think about the cool things you'll experience down the track. Think about other people in your life. Think about people that maybe are less off than you. Expand your internal dialogue to be more than just yourself.
Zoom out. And I think it's really important because you're kind of so self-centered.
Yeah.
And your 20s, from when you're born up until you're 20 or 18 or so, that is such a small part of your life.
Oh, yeah.
We've both just entered our 20s. I'm 25, you're 24, 3.
Wow.
I swear on you.
Okay.
I just thought you're so mature, you're 24. There's so much more to life than just that little small part.
Yeah.
The fun part starts now.
It does. And I want to say this is you care so much about what everyone thinks about you when you're in that teenage phase. I'm telling you, once you hit your 20s, you do not give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. It's time to like step away.
Yeah.
Time to step away from like, okay, like in high school's hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's people judging. It's like, oh, you're cringe. Oh, you do this. Oh, you're in this, I don't know, Harry Potter group or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's so much judgment like around specific things. Once you leave school, none of that matters. Like there's smidges of if you accept, like if you really think like, okay, I'm getting judged, like, oh, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that, then yeah, it's going to be tough. But I think, yeah, not letting that judgment get to you is like the start of your 20s.
Well, I think we should start how you can survive your 20s. Now, we did say we broke this into categories, so we're going to start with the personal category. So this is about, self-reflection, self-growth, all the things about you. And the first thing that we want to talk about is that in your 20s, you start to learn to love yourself. And I think it is such a beautiful journey because you go from, I would say, being insecure in your body because there's, we're in a world of social media where you see all of the, what you want to be and all of this, and everyone shoves their best aspects of their life
Models
in your face.
Influences that.
Everything.
Yeah.
So you get to that point now in your mindset where you're actually going to start to learn to be happy with yourself. And you're not going to be comparing yourself to other people. Like, obviously, no one's perfect. You still have those moments where you're like, oh, I wish I was her. Or, I wish I had that. Yeah. But you now are going to use that and channel that to better yourself into loving yourself more. I think, like, that's super important that it's a bit of a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But if you can change your mindset into starting to think, okay, like, what do I actually love about myself, and tell yourself those little positive things. And then, you start going out. I saw this really good video the other day where this girl was like, I get to go to the grocery store, or I get to drive a car. If you start changing your mentality to be like, I get to wake up every morning in a comfy bed. I get to go to a job that I love. I get to see my friends. If you start thinking in that positive mindset of what you get to do in abundance rather than what you don't have, as a 20-something-year-old, that sets that mentality right up for you to have success.
100%. I can't agree with you more. I think something when I look back now, even just being 25, I wish I started that sooner.
Yep.
Because it's so hard. Like it's you and your mind, like it's going to be like you and your mind for life.
Yeah.
Like you will never not.
For lifers.
For lifers. Like the hardest relationship is you and your mind.
It is. It's you and yourself.
Like, because that's it. Like you're going to always have that voice in your head telling you things. And if you can train that voice to give you like positive self-talk, like not comparing yourself to others and things like that, like that is really going to set you up for other things like in your career or your relationships. Like it is so difficult to do. It's not as easy as being like, okay, today I'm going to tell myself like, oh, I get to do this. And then the next sentence might be like, oh, but I have a lack of money, or, oh, my friends are doing that and I can't get to do that, or blah, 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 I'm not at that stage yet,
Stop yourself before that.
Yeah, like it's a really difficult thing. And I think that's probably one of our like most important things is, challenge yourself like with your self-talk, that mind.
Yep. Set your inner monologue to be someone that you want to listen to.
Yeah.
Don't set yourself up for failure by being in your own head about, comparing yourself to others and, not loving bits about yourself. Change that around. That is honestly like step one to being able to set yourself up for a positive start in your 20s is literally your inner monologue has to be one of support for you.
It's your number one best friend.
It's your number one fan.
The For Lifers, I can't with you. That's going to be stuck in my head.
Or pat your back, pat yourself on the back, girl.
Like when I'm like going to leave this episode, I just know I'm going to be like, wow, For Lifers. Like in my mind, if I say something now.
But it is like it's that thing. Like you are going to be stuck with yourself for life,
and it's going to suck if like
getting rid of you.
Yeah, but I just think like following on from that, find out what you like. Let's find what your hobbies are.
Yep.
If, you know, like you're having this little self-talk or whatever, be honest with yourself like, oh, I love going to the beach. My personal one, how I want to survive my personal self is going to the beach. I find a sense of comfort. I find a sense of calm. My head is clear. I'm happy. That is something that personally I have found, okay, I need to do more of that.
Yep.
Whether that's with my friends or whatever, I can do that by myself, and that is something that I like to do.
Yeah.
You know,
and
Matt,
that's what I mean.
do you have something?
It's an individual thing. Like I would say we're very like-minded people because I feel the same. Like to me, going to the beach and like having a swim in the water always helps me reset, and it makes me feel like, I don't know, everything just like feels easy and it feels calm, and it's just like I can't even like explain the overwhelming joy of the experience of like literally just floating in the water and being like, man, how lucky am I like to be able to do this? Like,
and that's the thing, like ours might be the beach, but yours might be reading. Yours might be boxing, like
it could
whatever
be
it
sitting
is.
in your bed scrolling through TikTok.
Netflix. Like find something that you like to do and love to do.
Yep.
Like hobby-wise.
Yes.
We're talking about hobbies like painting, like I don't know, there's whether it's talking to friends.
So much.
If you love talking to your friends, do it.
Yep.
Schedule it in, like book it in, you know?
That's it. Like to honestly, like you said it 100% correctly. Schedule these things. Like
You're going to get busy.
Make the time like to put the things that you want to do first. Whether that, for us, it's going to the beach or like doing those other little hobbies that you like, but put that time in for yourself. And it sounds ridiculous because it's like, oh, I don't want to schedule my life. It's like, that's like, you know, not fun. Well, sometimes you're going to have to.
You're going to have to schedule
in.
in.
Life gets busy. It gets busy. And like by scheduling that stuff, you're prioritizing yourself and what you want in life, because no one wants to look back and be like, cool, I did everything for everyone else. I did everything that was for every part of my life except for what I enjoyed. So schedule that fun activity that you like to do in, because then you'll look back and be like, man, I'm so stoked. Like I got to go to the beach whenever I wanted to. I got to go for a walk when I wanted to.
Correct.
Like I got to read a book. Like you will actually really enjoy those moments.
That is, the good parts. And like something that both of us have done for ourselves actually is travel.
Oh,
and you just came back from your like Shanghai trip, and I can just see that like it's brought you fulfillment.
Yep.
And like it's made you happy.
Yes.
And like it's not, in saying that, it doesn't mean it's easy.
No.
I'm sure it wasn't easy to save up. I'm sure it wasn't easy to book those things, and you're scared, and you actually did a solo trip. And like I would say you're very like extroverted, you know, and confident in that sense of maybe doing that solo trip, but traveling just gives you this sense of like freedom, and you're seeing new parts of the world, or whether you're traveling just, I don't know, an hour away from your city, like
it's appreciation too for what you've got.
Yeah.
And like realizing how much more is out there in the world than just your little bubble. And I think like travel is like in your 20s, do it. Like I know some people like, look, some people are going to have the mindset of, I'm going to work now, hustle now so that I can travel when I'm older.
Yeah.
Like
that's cool. That's
also
sweet.
cool. I support that.
Yeah.
But I have always lived by, and I will always recommend, travel when you're young and able, because the things that you can do in your 20s, you can't necessarily do in your 60s.
Yeah.
So I think traveling now and seeing the places that you want to see, yes, I know you need money and things like that, but if you want something bad enough, you will figure out a way to make it happen.
You will work for that plane ticket.
You will. Like, you genuinely will. You will hustle to get yourself to where you want to go, because honestly, traveling is such a good worldly experience for you to be able to help yourself internally. Because I feel like going on my first solo trip, it sounds like, it's going to sound so cliche, but I genuinely feel like I found different parts of myself that I never knew existed, and I'm so glad I did, because now coming back, I know what I want to like get out of life, and I won't settle.
And you can put that in like your life now.
Yep.
You can be like, I learned that when I was away. Amazing. How can I do that in my life, like here in Australia, or like at home, or like in my work, or with relationships? I was confident to do this, or like I tried a new thing or whatever. And like, yeah, I think that's amazing.
Oh, it's so good. Trying new things too. Like you just said, trying new things is honestly such a fun thing to do in your 20s, because you're at the age now where like you don't have to ask like mum and dad for permission for things. You can make your own big girl and boy decisions. But honestly, like trying new things is so fun, because you will like, you'll do things and you'll be like, oh God, I will never do that again.
Correct.
But you'll also do things and you'll be like, whoa, like that actually was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like I loved that. Like I'm going to do that more.
Again.
Like it's literally like your 20s is such a good time to find what you want out of life, what things you want to do in life, and new ways to kind of explore life, I would say. That would be the three things that like your 20s really like wholeheartedly can set you up for, if you, I guess if you want to. Like if you don't, like if you're in that mindset, like, I don't know, where you're kind of like, oh, I'm just floating through life, like that's all right.
Yeah.
Like you do what you need to do. But if you're someone that's like, I want to get the most out of it, these are the things like you need to implement.
Like doing things outside of your comfort zone.
Oh, yes.
You know, like whether that be like starting your degree or not doing your degree, I don't know.
Or ending your degree.
Or ending your degree. Like, I don't know, like try out for that new job. Try a new gym.
Go to a social random sport that you don't know anyone at.
Correct. Like put yourself outside of your comfort zone. I promise you it will test, like it's going to test that little voice in your head. That voice is going to tell you, oh no, I can't do this. I can't, like, I don't have anyone. Like I don't have anyone to go with, or, you know, like try it.
Yep. It's like
challenge yourself.
It's literally like yes and no. Like genuinely, I feel like in your 20s, you learn when to say yes and when to say no. I always say
it's a big struggle.
It is.
Like this one's not an easy one to do.
Because saying no seems selfish. But if it's something that you don't want to do,
say no.
Say freaking no.
But like be confident in like having an opinion.
Yeah, be sure of your decision. It's your decision. If you don't want to do it, yeah, good. Like, I don't want you here.
I don't want to do this podcast. No. No, I love it.
You don't get a choice.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what I mean? Like, be confident in your answers. If you don't want to do something or something doesn't align with where you are at, say no. But if you're that person that wants to challenge yourself or try new things or do random things, like, say yes. There's been so many moments where, like, you know, a lot of people around me be like, no, and then one person's like, oh, like, I might go do this. Like, do you want to come? And I could easily turn around and be like, oh, no. Like, like, I want to, but, you know, everyone else said no. So, no, I want to go do it. I want to go, like, see where this ends up. Man, you end up having the best moments.
Yeah, and I think, like, it's sort of, it'll flow nicely into relationships in a second, but, like, saying yes why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Are you too lazy? Like, can you not be bothered? Is it outside of your comfort zone? Is it
scary?
Is it scary? Are you, like, anxious and nervous about that social meeting? Like
Like, to me, actually, someone
Is it
said
effort?
this. Someone said this. What's the worst thing that can happen? To me, death.
Yeah.
Like, unless that situation is going to end with you in a possible death,
Life or
nothing
death.
else can be what's
As
the
bad.
worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
I honestly, I didn't even, like, register to think of this, but literally, like, unless in that situation your worst possible case scenario can happen, then sure, I can understand. But if you know that it can't possibly happen, why not? For the plot, babes. Like,
Oh.
for the plot.
The 20s is definitely for your plot. Yeah.
100%. But, like, literally, like, I've started now doing that. Like, I'm like, if someone's asked me to do something and maybe I immediately don't have the answer of, like, yes or no, I'll be like, okay, like, if I go do this, will I die? Nope. Okay, cool.
Let's go.
Let's go do it. Let's go
Yes,
try
I'm
something
coming.
like that I've never like done, or let's go do something that I wasn't really sure about doing. And trust me, those moments when you show up are the best.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like, I don't know, like a random night out, like you said you're not going to go, or like, oh, you're unsure. And then you end up having the best time because it's just so unexpected and you were scared of something or nervous or whatever. And then you're like, what was I even scared about?
Yeah, why did I even care?
Why did I care? Like, yeah. But I think to wrap up, like, personal self, I would say a really big part of surviving 20s, entering your 30s, is, like, your health.
Yeah.
Whether that's your physical health, your mental health, like, emotional, you know, everything under that health umbrella is really important. If you are looking after yourself physically and mentally, everything will be okay. Like, and I think there's such stigma around like mental health, physical health, exactly what we were saying before. Like, you look at these models, you look at these influencers, you immediately put yourself down. You think about what you don't have. Oh, I don't look like that. I'm not that skinny, or, oh, I'm not that curvy. I don't have like a big bum. Like, it's just finding like that healthy sweet spot for you.
Yeah.
You're an individual. It's going to be different. Like, stop comparing yourself right now. Like, you are an individual person. You're unique. There's things going to work health-wise for you.
Yep.
That's not going to work for the other person. Something that Maddie does might not work for me. Something that I do might not work for Maddie. Or there might be something that I can share and she might be like, I'll give that a go, you know? And for me personally, like, mine is like, okay, I'll go to the gym.
Yeah.
That's like my way out, like mentally and physically. I find enjoyment out of that. And sometimes I don't want to go.
That's
like,
it.
let's be real.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, there's going to be moments that you don't want to go do the thing that, like, you might like.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this for myself, my healthy self. You know, and it might fluctuate. You might go through times where you're like, okay, it's Macca's. It's like, you know.
But that's okay. Like, you only live once.
Yeah.
I hate the restriction on life.
Yeah.
Like, when people are like, you can't go do this, or you can't eat that because of this, or you can't drink that, or you can't, like, oh man, like, you probably get one solid go at life. Like, no one knows if you get a second chance.
Yeah.
So freaking go, like, do that
Balance, like
stupid thing.
Yeah.
Go eat that, like, Macca's burger if you want.
Enjoy
Like,
it, yeah.
enjoy it. But also then, like, hold yourself accountable to make healthy decisions in the sense of mentality and physical health. Because, like, yeah, obviously, like, don't be telling you, oh yeah, Maddie said I could go eat that burger, so I'm gonna have a burger every day.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's the, like, if you're out and you're, like, at a restaurant, don't be like, oh, I'm gonna
I have to
eat the salad.
Yeah.
The side salad for the lady.
Yeah.
Like,
Girl dinner. Like,
like, know when is, like, the right time to do things, but trust your intuition.
Yeah.
That is a huge thing that's going to help you with your personal self, is your intuition. Gosh, it's such a, like, topic that can just, like, go.
it's huge. You can talk about this forever.
Literally,
Like,
it could go into so many different areas. But I think perfectly to sum up your personal journey in your 20s is enjoy every minute, live like no one's watching, because no one's actually watching.
They're literally so busy thinking about themselves. Like, that's me. I'm like, I'm too busy thinking about what I have to do.
Yep.
And what I put out. I don't care. Like, I don't have time.
No. And that's it. And just do things that you enjoy. Put yourself first. Like, it's going to feel a little bit selfish, but trust me, when you start seeing that, like, you literally can't not smile at life because you are doing the things that you want to do. So that's honestly our biggest advice is learn to love yourself and what you want to get out of life to truly enjoy it, because you can't be enjoying someone else's. You need to be enjoying your own.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short ad break.
Listen closely as we got you some sneaky discount deals.
Ever wonder what the buzz around hard seltzer is? Picture this: sparkling water, natural fruit flavours, and here's the twist, it's got alcohol.
It's a lighter, refreshing way to enjoy your weekend bevs. Think low calories, zero sugar, preservatives and gluten, but maximum flavour.
And if we're talking hard seltzer, we have to talk about Island Mist.
Made locally here in Australia using 100% renewable energy.
Island Mist packs a punch at 6%, and unlike most,
they're made with distilled spirits, which really brings out those crisp fruit flavours.
If this sounds like a bit of you, you're in luck, as we have a special 20% off deal on all online orders for Legally Blonde listeners.
It's a fast, free delivery Australia-wide, and all you have to do is visit islandmist.co and use the code LegallyBlonde, no capitals,
no spaces. So take advantage of this awesome deal today. Island Mist Hard Seltzer.
Are you a woman who is ready to take charge of your health and fitness? Look no further.
Courtney from Goals, Gains and Balance is here to guide you on your journey towards reaching your full potential.
Courtney is passionate about women's health and helping women of all ages improve their strength, endurance and mobility.
Whether you're a busy career woman, a devoted mum, or someone struggling with their fitness goals, she understands the challenges you face in finding time for yourself and can help you realise your full potential.
Courtney's main focus at Goals, Gains and Balance is to help women be the best version of themselves.
She's here to support and guide you on your journey and to push you along the way.
When you sign up with Courtney, you are not just getting a PT, you are becoming part of a community that's about empowering, supporting and lifting other women up.
If you're ready to set some goals and achieve them, get in touch with Courtney today.
Courtney has spots available for online and face-to-face clients.
Goals, Gains and Balance.
And I think, like, moving on to, like, relationships. Massive,
it's a
massive topic
20s.
About 20s to 30s.
Yep.
You know, like, we just did our episode, like, on my life and everything that I brought up, like, I had relationship this or relationship that. And it's, whether that's with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, like, romantic, family, friends, things are going to change.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I think
shift.
Talking about, like, relationships in a romantic sense, it's okay to also be single.
Yes, it is.
Like, you do not have to be in a romantic relationship in your 20s.
You can be a Maddie. Maddie is actually enjoying her life.
And I love it. And, like, you know, like, you can't compare, like, me being in my relationship to you being single as I'm right and you're wrong.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't happen.
And that's one thing I want to say. Like, we're both sitting here, like, you're in a relationship, I'm single. Not once have you and I ever thought in comparison to our lives romantically.
Yeah.
Like, in all, like,
you cannot
we
compare.
just haven't, like, I love what you have for you, and I'm sure you love what I have for me, but we both know that in our own lives, that's not what we need. And that's good. That's how you know that you're growing up and you're learning, is that you can appreciate what someone else has. 100%. Good for them.
And it's not right and wrong.
No, it's
like,
just
being single is not a wrong thing.
Oopsies. We are so sorry. Our camera has had a blonde moment, just like us.
So, we haven't recorded the last bit of this video, but sit back and relax.
Close your eyes. Imagine we're on the couch with you and enjoy the audio.
See you guys.
No.
Being in a relationship is not a wrong thing.
No.
You know?
It's what's right for for you. And if that means you need to be single to figure out what you want to do, go for it. Like, that's what I'm doing at the moment. Like, I'm enjoying now, like, for probably the first time in my life, being independent and single and learning, like, if I want to go do this thing, I'll go do this thing. If I don't want to go do this thing, I don't have to. Like, and it's about learning what I want to get out of life. Whereas you're in a different stage than me.
Yeah.
And
so
like
different.
you're in your like your wholesome,
I'm in my
like,
lover
relationship era. Shout out T-Swivel.
T-Swift, yeah.
But that's it. Like, everyone is going to be at different phases. And obviously, yes, on social media, all the posts come up all the time. This person's having a baby. This person's engaged. This person's married. Everyone is going to make you feel like there's a timeline on life. There is no timeline to how you have to do things. I'm going to say that again. There is no timeline on when or how you have to do things. It is your own personal choice. If you don't want to have a baby till later in life, that's your decision.
Exactly.
If you want one now, that's your decision. But just because people are posting your age, that they're engaged, that they're married, that they're having kids, doesn't mean that that's what you have to be doing right now.
And oh my gosh, I'm 25 and she's 25 and okay, now I need to go talk to my boyfriend. Okay, we need to have a baby right now. Or I need to, you know, where's the ring? Like, the pressure.
Yeah. You're not engaged? Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
And
you've been dating for 10 years and you're not married?
I know.
Like, why? Or you've only been dating for a month and you're getting engaged?
Yeah, that's so fast.
It's none of your business.
It's not.
Where's the timeline?
Exactly.
Show us, like...
Yeah, show us where life said that I have to do this.
Like, where's the rule book? Where's the rule book?
Exactly.
On timeline.
There's not.
Society has set that for you.
Yep.
You might have cultural things that, like, you know, I don't know, like, some cultures maybe are like, yes, you do need to marry young, or you need to marry old, or you need to have a baby, or you need to have a baby after you're married. You know, like, it's so personal, like, yeah.
And even, like, I feel like growing up as a kid, you always think about, like, I'm going to be engaged at this time. I'm going to be married then. Then I'm going to have my first baby then. And then it's okay if that doesn't fall into place.
Might not work.
Look, I don't think it worked for either of us at this point in terms of, like, what we had set as our idea. It's okay to have ideas of when you want things, but rather than set those exact things in stone, do it when you feel the time is right, not when other people are doing it, or not when, like, you set yourself to do it. You will literally inside, like, your little heart there, you'll feel.
You'll know when the time is right. Yeah. And people say it and I'm like, nah, I won't. And I'm like, no, actually, wow. Yeah, okay, I get that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy how, like, everyone else's, like, perspectives on relationships and, like, when things are supposed to happen just disappear when you focus on what you want and yourself.
Yeah, literally just enjoy it. Enjoy being single, enjoy being in your relationship, like learning when to walk away, you know, if it's not healthy, if it's toxic, whatever, go, move on. If you're ready to commit. Like, yeah, it's
up to your individual self.
Yeah. But I think also something that I personally have realized is friendships. I think, honestly, like, relationships are hard with a loved one or, like, you know, romantic relationship, but I have really struggled with friendships and keeping certain friends, for example, from high school, losing friends from high school, gaining friends, or, like, saying to myself, I don't have any friends, or, you know, like, friendships change.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to lose friends. People change. People grow up. People become mature or they become immature. I don't know. Like, your life path will just, it might not be aligned. It might not be, like, parallel. No. You know, and it's really important not to be hard on yourself and be like, oh my gosh, like, what did I do? Like, I'm losing all these friends. Like, you know.
As they say, quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. That's massive. Like,
Like you will learn to appreciate that as you go through life. It's not about how many friends you have. It's about the type of people that you surround yourself with.
yeah.
We talked about this a little bit last year on the podcast, that you become the product of the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
That's like a video or yeah, someone said something. It's what, your 5 closest friends?
Yep. You become the product.
And I heard that as well. And this guy was like, you know, if you're hanging out with like the richest people or whatever, like
you are going to become
become one of those. Like if you are hanging out with negative people, let's say, I don't know, who have an interest in like going out every night, you are probably going to become that.
Yep.
And I think it's a really interesting point actually that you've mentioned that. Think about your friends that you surround yourself with right now. What do they do? What are their interests? What do you guys end up doing when you hang out?
Yeah.
Like, massive thing to think about.
And that's literally why, like, in your 20s, you will learn that quality of friends is superior to the quantity of friends. Like, having 3 friends is not a bad thing. It just means that you
is like that's amazing.
That's still hectic, like to have like 3.
Yeah.
But that means that you have surrounded yourself with people that are like-minded on the same path as you and that are supporting you and that are going to be there for you, rather than having a whole big group of people who you don't even know what's going on.
Why
in
not
their
even catch
life.
up with all of them?
No.
Like, you're too busy.
Like, you don't know what they're like. Honestly, I believe that if you have a close group of friends, you're going to look out for each other more. If you have a bigger group of friends, from experience, it can get a little bit complicated.
Yeah, like if you do have many friends and you are close to all of them, that's great. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But I think you need to tell yourself that like you will lose friends. Like I lost like one of my closest friends from high school. And it was like a heartbreak. Like it was so hard to like process.
It does.
And it's okay.
Yep.
It is so okay to lose friends because you don't actually know, but you will gain friends.
In the most unexpected ways.
I did not know Maddy. And like we met through such like a random
coincidence
circumstance of like playing Oz tag. A friend of a friend invited us, boom. And here we are starting a podcast together that we're like, okay, for lifers.
For lifers.
Like, you know, like.
But that's it. Like, it's like
I didn't know I was going to meet you or gain like a friendship as good as this.
It's so crazy to think. And like, imagine like if you could tell like your younger self stuff. Like, imagine if Maddy and Talitha here could turn around and tell Oztag us that like.
Guess what? You guys are going to start a podcast together.
Like, we would have been like, what? Like, haha.
Yeah, funny joke.
Yeah. Whereas now it's like, you learn to realize the people that are going to like progress you further in life, and they're the ones that are worth keeping around.
Stick with those people that are going to support you 100%.
I know you mentioned before like moving into like career and like finance as our like third area. You mentioned before like on your path with people and things like that. In your 20s is the perfect time to assess all the paths in your life. I think both of us right now can comfortably say we are both in a state of I could go this way, I could go that way, I could go straight ahead. Like I actually don't know which way I want to go right now, and I'm actually using this time to find which path is going to make me the most fulfilled and happy. And it is okay. Yeah. Even if you've literally just finished your degree and you're like, it was good, but I don't know if that's the path. Do I want to do that? Yeah, do I want to do that? You don't have to. Just because you did the degree, you don't have to do the degree. Like you don't have to work in that area. If you wanted to go explore somewhere else and your passion is pulling you somewhere else, go try that. Like, don't stop yourself just because you feel like you are on a path and you have to stay on that path. As you go on walks, they do. The path changes. There's different ways to veer off. So do that. Go explore other options and find what actually makes you feel happy and fulfilled.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, if we're talking about, like, changing paths, like, personally, you know, I quit my job like 1 or 2 weeks ago. And like,
So
I'll be like, this is very vulnerable. It is honest. I am currently unemployed as a 25-year-old. I'll tell you a funny story. So this little kid that lives in my building, he put up a poster on the elevator, you know, saying he can do like little grocery shopping runs and a bin run and la-di-da-da-da. And I ran into him with my boyfriend Trent, and we were like, how's your little business going? And he's like, yeah, really good. Like I made $150. And in that moment, I paused and I was like, holy moly, this kid is making more money than me this week. And it was just like, it was actually a lot. I was like, oh damn, I need to work for him. Yeah. But like, it's okay. Like your path will change. Like it just made me, I instantly compared myself
to a child.
To a child, a 10-year-old. But I was like, why is he making more money than me?
Yeah.
But like, it's just, I don't know, like things will happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I can totally agree with you. If something does not align with your life, put your foot down.
Don't
move on.
Don't do it. If it's not feeling right and is not aligning with what you want to get out of life, don't do it. Don't put yourself through the misery. What are you gaining from being sad and unhappy? Like, seriously.
If it's not like elevating your, like if it's not getting you somewhere, if you're not going to go further, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like just literally take a step back and be like, okay, you know, is this job, let's say for example, is this job actually gonna take me anywhere further, or am I just gonna stay here? I mean, if you're comfortable saying that, go for it. But
if you're not getting out of it what you need, you need
what's the point?
Yeah, and that literally, what is the point if you're not getting out of that work or that job or that degree what you want? Try something else. There is no harm in trying something else.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like it is your life and you need to be making the decisions, not someone else. So inside yourself, ask yourself, am I happy with where I am right now? Is this fulfilling me? Or should I try something else that's been on my mind to try?
Yeah, and I think it gets really hard when you talk about finances. I think in your 20s, you know, because like you're starting to be independent. You have your own bank account maybe or whatever, or maybe you're sharing a bank account with your partner. Like everything's going to look very different for each individual, you know, and it's sort of like, okay, like I'm at this job to make money. Okay, what am I going to do that is going to make me money? Because you need money to live. Like we can't.
Yeah, sadly.
Sadly, that is one thing that like we can't change. You need money to live. Okay, what can I do that's going to make me money but also bring me fulfillment? Okay, am I going to have to sacrifice this job? Am I going to stay there a little bit longer, like just to make that enough money, and then I can go travel?
Yeah.
Or, okay, build myself up in this job because I really want to be the head of whatever. Or, you know, like there will be sacrifices because of money.
And just because something's hard doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
If it's hard, but it's something that you want, still do it.
Yeah.
Push yourself through.
Yeah, like finances, it's hard.
It's hard because I think as well, we're all looking at each other and what each other has. Like, you know, you'll see like someone's just bought a new car
a new
someone's
house.
just bought a house or someone's going on this trip or doing that. And it's so hard to not compare yourself to them. But just remember, those are materialistic things.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, when you die, they aren't coming with you.
They don't matter.
They don't matter. What matters is your experiences, how you felt, and like your overall like outlook on life. So just because someone bought a new car, you don't need to buy a new car. If your car gets you to A and B and you're happy with her, she's great, okay?
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like I completely like agree because I see stuff on TikTok and Instagram or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I would love to have like that car right now, or you know, like my car still has like the aux cord where I have to plug it in and plug it in my phone, and you know, and sometimes I'm like, I hate this car, but I'm like, wait, this car still works. yes, it's not the nicest car, but okay, A to B.
Yep. It's like trends. Oh, like
okay.
give me strength. Honestly, I'm the first to admit I'm so guilty. Like people be posting things and it's trending and I'm like, well, now I want to try it because everyone else is raving about it.
I have to get it. I have to go buy that.
Don't be a bandwagoner. Is that a word? I think it's a word.
Yeah, like don't be like, I don't know. There's reasons why things are posted or things are trending, like, and that's the whole point, is actually getting everyone onto it. I think there needs to just like be a little bit of a break. Yeah, sure, if you like it, go for it, buy it.
Yeah.
Me and clothes, I'm like, damn, I love that. I'm buying that set. And I'm like, oh, yep, I want that set in black. Oh, that influencer got it in pink or whatever. I'm like, you know, so you don't have to follow every trend.
No, you don't have to get new things just because someone else said it was good.
And the iPhone 15, Maddie.
It's that quality. It's
but
really
it's
good.
Okay. You know, we'll make an exception.
It's for the podcast.
Yeah, it's for the podcast, yeah.
But that's it. Like in terms of like getting your finances in order and your career and stuff like that, you need to not be someone that's doing things because it's a trend or buying things because someone else has it. You need to buy things if you need it or if it's something that you actually genuinely want and love. Because if it's just something because someone else has posted it, that's not a necessity. It needs to be to set yourself up successfully, to have money, to be able to do things that you love. You need to make those sacrifices on spending money on unnecessary things and also things that don't actually have meaning to you.
Yeah, like I know like some people that love materialistic stuff and like I can genuinely tell like that makes like that person happy. That's what, you know, and that's their thing. But I can remind myself,
it's not
I'm a type of person, okay, if I had the money for it, yes, maybe I would like that. But for me at the moment, I'm like, no, actually, I'm okay. I don't need that thing. I'd love it, but I don't need to jump into that trend.
Yeah. And I think it's important to learn about your saving and your money.
Yeah, I was going to say like, for me, like I'll look at these TikToks because shares are something that I would love to know more about. And like you said that you have shares or, you know, of people that have shares. And to me, it's such a foreign thing. But you said something about like you started reading and actually making yourself aware. What is it?
What's the options? I think that's a really good point, is that you need to read about finance options because there's so many different ways that you can go about it. There's shares, there's high interest accounts, there's all these other like there's buying property, investments and all of these things. So there's so many ways you can go about it. But you need to do it in a way that you're going to like it. Because if you start trying to invest money or save money or do things in a way that, you know,
other people are just doing
other people are just doing,
copying or whatever.
Yeah, it's not going to be good and you're not going to be successful. So read, try and investigate all the different ways that you can save money and see which one fits and aligns with your life.
Works for you, yeah.
It has to work for you. It can't be like what I do, like with shares or with other things, might not necessarily work for Talitha.
Yeah.
But vice versa. They might work really well for me and I might come to a point where I'm like, okay, like I'm going to try something else. Because if you read and investigate and you know all the different options, then you're setting yourself up to align with the one that's going to best suit your lifestyle.
Yeah, I think ages ago I was reading about shares and I was just, for me personally, I was like, oh, like I see this person having shares and this one said, oh, I made this amount. And I'm like, what? Like that is crazy. But for me, like that starting point of like actually putting money into that thing that I don't know what's going to happen or I just don't know much about, like that to me, I am like, oh, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
But when I think about, for me, an investment property, I'm like, okay, I see that physical thing there. That's my investment. Okay, this is long term. I think there's also like long term and short term, like saving. That's a good one. But I can see the value in an investment property. And for somebody else, they might be like, no, I don't see the value in that, or I see the value in everything, or whatever. I don't see that. Or I save money by when I'm doing groceries or whatever, like I'll pick the option that's less expensive. Or you know what I mean? Saving money by staying at home. Saving money by, okay, when I go out, okay, I'll get a coffee instead of a meal. Or like, you know, like not instead of, oh my gosh.
I was like, whoa.
No. I mean, like, I'll eat at home, but I'll still treat myself to a coffee going out.
Yes.
I think there's so many different ways that you can save money.
Yep.
Even like credit cards. Like, I don't have any credit cards, and I'm too scared to get a credit card, but I know of people that it works for them and they can pay that stuff off.
Yeah. And that's it. It's got to work for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There are so many books out there, but there's also podcasts, there's websites, there's all this abundance of information.
For free as well.
For free. That if you just have a think about what kind of aligns with your lifestyle, then research into that specific area. If you like what you read, give it a go. If you don't like what you read, go research another spot. There are so many things. This time of your life, in your 20s and preparing for your 30s, is when you take charge and you set yourself up for what you want to get out of the rest of your life. So what we've said today.
Wow, that was big.
I know, I was like,
that was really inspirational.
Thank you. I'll be here for the rest of the year.
If you have any questions,
just send me a DM.
Damn, girl,
But that's it. Like, honestly, we are proud of you. We're proud of each other. And the only way that you're going to get the most out of your life and the most enjoyment and the most fulfillment is if you listen to what you want as a person and not everyone else. And that's how you are going to become successful in preparing yourself for the rest of your life.
I think that is like the best summary of like surviving your 20s, like preparing for your 30s. I think literally set yourself those goals. We have our goal setting episode up. And
how you can do it.
Yeah, you know, go have a listen to that. Like, what's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? Yeah, it might not actually go your way.
No.
But like, it is okay.
Be adaptable.
Be flexible. Like, things are going to happen. Unexpected things might happen in your life, you know. There's so much, like, there's just so much out there, and like one day is so small, like in your 20s. Yeah.
What is it? Zoom out.
Zoom out. Like, yeah, zoom out. I think, your 20s going into your 30s, like, wow.
It's such a good time. Just enjoy it, okay?
Yeah.
Really enjoy it. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode and it's given you some insight on how to kind of navigate through these challenges in a better mindset. But if you want to hear something else and we can dive into something further, let us know. We're always open.
Our DMs are open on Instagram, comment on our YouTube, TikTok.
All of it.
All of the above.
Well, I'm Maddy.
And I'm Talitha.
And this is
the Legally Blonde Podcast. If you're looking for a way to wind down and support muscle recovery after a training sesh,
or want to humble brag about your caffeine-free way to wake up, NeuroCover has you covered.
Ice baths are something Maddy and I do on the regular to support muscle recovery
and decrease inflammation, and overall feel more energized on the weekends.
The new Recover Ice Bath is easier to set up, drain, and can hold up to 400 litres of water and ice, and it's completely durable.
If you want to try it out, use our code Madison72572 at checkout for 15 to 20% off your purchase.
NeuroCover.
With their extensive experience and expertise,
Cubic Marketing offers a wide range of services to help businesses like yours thrive in today's competitive landscape.
From website development and social media management to graphic design and SEO,
Cubic Marketing has the tools and knowledge to elevate your brand.
Imagine having a stunning website that captivates your audiences and drives conversations.
With Cubic Marketing's website development services, it's possible.
Cubic Marketing.
Are you looking for your new favourite drink?
Head to Recharge Nutrition, 316 Nutrition, or Off the Rails Nutrition, and you are in for a treat.
They are serving loaded energy teas, which are 20 calories, no sugar, packed with vitamins and minerals, and also have aloe for those healthy guts.
They serve healthy smoothies too, which are under 300 calories, high in protein, contain macro and micronutrients to satisfy your hunger, and are made on water.
So head to Recharge Nutrition,
316 Nutrition,
or Off the Rails Nutrition today. Attention all Legally Blonde podcast listeners.
Elevate your activewear game with the 6am Society, the Australian-owned and designed lifestyle and activewear brand dedicated to comfort, functionality, and style.
As a special treat for our Legally Blonde community, enjoy an exclusive 25% off your purchase with code LegallyBlonde25 in all capitals.
Chloe at the 6am Society promotes self-love, celebrates every body with her comfortable and timeless collections.
Plus, the 6am Society is committed to sustainability, releasing limited edition collections to minimize wastage and overproduction.
Upgrade your activewear to one that exceeds expectations, where fit, quality, and longevity are top priorities.
Visit the6amsociety.com.au today and don't forget to use our Legally Blonde code,
the 6am Society. Did you like today's podcast?
All of the music, sound, mixing, and editing was done by Julia from Julia's Music Studio.
Julia is a composer and music educator based in Sydney who writes, arranges, performs, and teaches music.
She writes and arranges music from diverse genres for a variety of instruments and ensembles,
as well as teaching composition, music theory, piano, singing, and flute in both private and school settings. She also does various gigs as a singer in an acoustic duo.
You can find more details on her musical adventures as well as her contact information on her website, which has been posted to our Instagram.